Hello there, everyone. If anyone's watching, I don't think there is, but when you're watching it back, hi. um, I'm just waiting for the match to start. I'm also waiting for people to join. I'm going to share it out just to remind everyone that we're live. Oh, there's people in here. Hi. Let me know who's in here in the comments. Good evening, Calvin. As you can see, I've got team news on the bottom of the screen currently for Liverpool. How am I doing? I'm good. I'm very nervous. I've just been watching Ant and Declan and crying because they've just announced they're going back to Orlando. So, but getting onto the football team news tonight is Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Henderson, Milner, Keita, Jota, Salah, Gakpo. So here's a very not our usual lineup, I would say. I have heard, obviously, Nunes is not on the bench. If anyone's not seen that, Nunes has still got a shoulder injury from the Newcastle game. So apparently he went into the Real Madrid game with the injury still, and that's sort of why he came off towards the end of the game. Basically, the injury was still sort of making it hard for him to play. So hence why he's not in the team at all tonight, not even on the bench. But that midfield, Henderson and Milner, I've sort of got belief in because it's the experience. Obviously, Naby has his good moments and he's had some good moments this season, but he's also very injury prone, and I do think that stops him going in a lot of tackles. But yeah, let me know what you think of the side. I am very interested. Obviously, Jota just coming back. Last season, I actually went to Crystal Palace away, and that all I remember from that game was just constantly singing, "Oh, we was the number 20." So maybe that's a good omen for Jota, but it will be interesting to see how Jota comes back. It is probably going to be his first full-ish game. I would expect maybe he does get subbed off, but we'll have to wait and see. Hi everyone that's in the chat or watching. I am at home as I watching it. I didn't want to go to the pub on my own and then walk back in the dark because it is a late kick-off. So I thought I'd go live with you all. And also I'm trying to get away tickets is ridiculously hard. So, but yeah, that's Liverpool team news. And then I know it's going across the bottom at the minute. I will bring up the Palace team news across the bottom for you all to see. Yeah, Keita is to be honest, that whole midfield just confuses me because I think Fabs has played really well, and personally I would have put Fabs in. But maybe Fabs over Milner. So it is a bit of a weird one, like, looking at it. But we'll have to just we can't really. I don't like commenting negatively on the team news before I see the team playing. So I think within the first 15-20 minutes, hopefully we should get a rough idea of what's going on. There's quite a lot of 3-0 win predictions for us that I can see coming in, which is pretty interesting. Luna saying Gakpo for the first goal. Gakpo's been on good form since he's been scoring, so that could be a really good shout. Like I said, it's going to be an interesting game. I think none of us really know what squad's going to turn up because we've had two. Fair enough, the derby was against Everton, but that game against Newcastle in a cup final tomorrow. Newcastle having a really good season. So to go to their own ground, and St James's Park this season, I've got my brother and my stepdad who go there quite a bit, and I know off them and the videos they've shown me, the atmosphere in St James's Park this season has been absolutely electric. So the fact we went there and managed to get a 2-0 win quite comfortably, like, that was really promising. And then you go to the Real Madrid game, and then first 20 minutes, oh my God, it was heaven. For Liverpool are back, and then we just crumbled. So now we don't know what's going to be going on with this game. So it is going to be really interesting, I think, to see what squad turns up. How are we back from another watch along? Yeah. The last one I did this, I think, was actually when we played Forest last season. I only really do them when I'm in the house on my own. Because one, trying to do it when everyone's in the house is a bit awkward. Because it's only the telly downstairs that has the box. so I can only really watch it downstairs. Um, yeah, and then obviously I don't really wanna have my dad in, and then also we go to the pub quite a bit, so nice to be back doing one of these and having a chat with everyone while the game's going on because it helps me process the game. Um, any kind of win, yes, we understand that Klopp is resting guys for midweek. I get that, but also I think the away game at Palace is gonna be a tougher game than Wolves at home. So personally, I would have not rested people for Wolves. I probably would have rested people in the Wolves game, for the game coming up the weekend after. It is like a awkward decision to make, I think, for Klopp. Do we rest them in the away game or do we rest them in the home game? Personally, for me, I'd rest them in the away game. So I just think two teams are quite on par. Maybe Wolves are a bit worse of form than Palace, but we'll have to see. Well, this is a nice surprise. Thank you. I hope you all enjoy having a chat with us. Currently 21 of us in the chat, so let me know your thoughts on the team at the minute. Obviously at the bottom I've got Palace's team at the bottom, which should be interesting to see. Gakpo's on fire. Milner will do a job tonight. Milner, like, I always trust Milner, but then, like every other squad player for us this season, it's difficult to trust them. He's had a few touch and go moments when he has played. But Gakpo, yeah, I do agree with Gakpo is on fire ever since the derby. To be honest, ever since his first game, I've said he looked promising. You could just tell he needed to just gel with the squad. And I did have a few people go, we've not seen enough of him for say this and that, but from I was saying from what we've seen, I think it was promising. I think everyone's now expecting players to come into squads and be like Haaland, and I think we saw that with Núñez getting a lot of stick this season. Everyone was expecting him to come into the squad and be a lot like Haaland. Then Gakpo came in and everyone was expecting the same thing, and it's shown you need time with your players. Núñez and Gakpo now are really coming along with the squad. So thoughts on Keita? Well, funnily enough, on Boxing Day this year, Keita got a new nickname in my family, which was Breadstick, because he came on and I was absolutely fuming. I was like, why is Breadstick coming on? Because obviously he gets injured quite a lot and breadsticks break quite a lot. That was my little thought in my head. But yeah, sometimes I just shout things out while I'm watching the game without realising it. And then that one was me saying for that game. For the Real Madrid game, I actually shouted about Courtois being Pickford at one point, which is like Courtois was absolute like brilliant player. So to line him up with Pickford was quite funny, but he did do something similar to him, hence why I said it. But yeah, so what's everyone's thoughts on the squad? Because for me, like it is a big shock. I'm not gonna lie, that midfield I still can't get my head around it. It's disappointing to think that Núñez has got an injury though. I agree with you. I wouldn't have rested Fabs. He's being good for us. Milner is unpredictable, and I would have def rested Núñez. He's carrying enough from Newcastle game. Yeah, 100%. I get the Núñez getting rested thing. I don't really think Núñez. It's a case of Núñez is getting rested. I think it's a case of Núñez has got that shoulder injury. I do wish they'd give us more information on what the shoulder injury is, whether it's just a strain, pulled muscle, whether because at one point I did think watching the game had he because anyone who's had a dislocated bone or knows anybody that's had a dislocated joint, like it can pop out and pop straight back in within a split second. So I was thinking, has he had a dislocated socket and then it's happened so fast that he's not realised it and that's what's causing it afterwards? But we'll have to wait and see on what we hear over the coming days, I guess so, before the Wolves game. The teams are in the tunnel now, so hopefully they come out soon. How are you? I am good, thank you. I hope you are good, Renee. I'm Klopp out, sadly. I don't think you can be Klopp out. I think I'll hold my hand up here. For a lot of it, I wasn't FSG in or FSG out, but I could understand the decisions FSG made. This last 2 seasons, seeing them not put any money in squad development, and then for me, this January was a big wake-up call for I think a lot of us who were sort of on the fence with FSG and were like, "I'm not exactly in, I'm not exactly out, I don't mind them." The thing for me is I still remember, like, us getting rid of Gillette and Hicks and the amount of debt they got us in and the whole protests around that. So that for me, that's one of, like, a big early on memories I have of being a Liverpool fan as, like, a young kid, was all them protests. So I sort of am like, be careful what you wish for, but after this January transfer window, I'm sort of like, we need new owners. And the fact they came out and said we are looking for investment into the club, whether that be a sale of the club or bringing in investment and that. And then to now come out once the transfer window closes and say, actually, no, we're not going to sell it, was a bit of a, I thought it was a bit of a harsh move for me. I thought they shouldn't have done that. They should have from the get-go been like, this is what we're doing and we're going to stick to it. And if they weren't going to sell the club, then they should have invested in January, in my opinion. Um, Not massively. I think definitely throw more of the money in the summer window, but I do think we needed to buy at least maybe one midfielder. And at one point, I was thinking maybe do we need another centre back because of what's going on, but definitely midfielder we needed and we didn't get. So, um, but yeah, sorry, I was just catching up on the comments. Um, Galatasaray for me. To be honest, I will hold my hand up. That's the only squad I know out of them two. Do you think we'll spend in the summer, and who would you want to see us bring in? The dream would be Bellingham, but I think if we don't get Champions League next season, I think Bellingham will be a really hard play. Um, but for me, I'd want to see at the end of the season who looks like they could be coming in. I know there's rumours about Mason Mount, which would be interesting. Do I play FPL? I do, but I haven't took me FPL serious. The one I have took serious is my Sky one because we're doing a family one of that, and I'm currently behind my dad in the league. So, but I'm like 100 points behind him, so that's difficult. But I am above a few of the Newcastle fans, so that's quite fun. Um, FSU just don't care. We've been losing great players every year, and I think Klopp has shown too much faith on some players where he shouldn't have. Yes, I do understand that Klopp comment. I do think he's too loyal, which can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. But last season, I thought that at times. I thought he should have rested players, but because he's so loyal to them, he gives them the chance. And I was like, maybe you should have rotated a bit. But like we had a good season last season, don't get me wrong. It was just there was a few times I was like, oh. FSG though, I do agree with you. They don't care about us losing players. Don't want to replace them. We never replaced Coutinho. We never replaced Ronaldo. And now look at where our problems are to midfield. So yeah, and I know going right back to them. Klopp is not our fault. He's only been given so much to work with. He's also a proven class manager. 100%. I always say everyone does the argument of who's the better manager, Klopp or Pep Guardiola, and I always go, if Pep Guardiola had been given the budget Klopp's been, I don't think he would have done anywhere close to what Klopp had done. But yeah, we're getting close to kickoff here, so it should be interesting. I am getting nervous now, I'm not gonna lie. I've got a feeling that this is gonna be a tricky game. I'm gonna turn it up a bit. I have to be careful because if YouTube can hear me telly clear, it can get me in troubles with YouTube and Sky. So hence why it's a bit loud, but we're about to kick off in our white strip, which I actually have on under my hoodie, and there we go, we have kicked off. Asking me to choose between Man City or Nottingham Forest is not going to happen, sorry. Neither of them. But that does make me think, It is the Carabao Cup final tomorrow, and I did ask this in my Instagram live earlier. Um, Carabao Cup final, Newcastle United versus Man United. Who are you going for to win it? I really hope Newcastle do. All the Newcastle fans are already in London. FaceTimed my stepdad and brother because they're there. And oh my god, it is absolutely mental. I really hope they win it because they do deserve it, especially the support they've got in London. Palace already on the attack, but Jota's there to get the ball. The only thing is now Jota's not up front for the attack, although Mo's ran down, but they've got out for a throw-in before he's managed to touch the ball. Yeah, I agree with that as well. That Klopp's being left with no choice because to be loyal, because FSG won't invest, and I sort of agree with that. We just need to go. We need to just go for it off the bat. Sorry, that for some reason that I couldn't read that sentence. Hi. Oh, come on. Trench just threw the ball in straight at the Palace defender instead of Mo. So that is fun. But yeah, I actually can't wait to watch the Carabao Cup final tomorrow. It feels weird because after last season, but I am just glad that Man City aren't in that final because I think this season would feel a lot worse if Man City were going for every single trophy like we were last. But definitely hope Newcastle end up winning it. That would be amazing. No one would do anything for a week in Newcastle because the city would just shut down. Gakpo or Mane? I think that's quite a hard decision to make at the minute because we've not seen even half a season of Gakpo yet. Whereas with Mane, we had so many great memories with him, so it would be a real difficult and harsh decision to make between the two of them right now. Come on, Trent. Is anybody else like me though? When they see Naby with no hair, it still sort of confuses them and throws them off. I'm still not used to Naby with no hair. Oh, come on. Hendo just doing a stupid foul there on the player. Luckily, it is well into the Palace half, but sorry, I've got a dead leg already, so I'm just moving. I've sort of like squashed my leg, so it's now dead. Get rid of it. Palace have now got a throw in at our end, so hopefully we clear this. 30 people in here, thank you for joining. I'm Courtney, if you haven't watched before. I do match day vlogs when we're at home because getting away tickets as a Liverpool fan is ridiculous. I think any team now getting away tickets, a lot of teams struggle, so it's not just us. Do you like Aston Villa? No, because of last season, the last game. Devastating. How did you end up letting City score 3 goals past you when you 2-0 up? I know we done it against Real Madrid, but that was Real Madrid. In my opinion, I think Stevie should never have brought Coutinho off because as soon as he brought Coutinho off, it went downhill. The only teams I like in the Prem is Liverpool and then Newcastle because I lived up there for so long. We have to make peace with that. Mane has left. Even if he would have stayed, we'd still be struggling. Definitely, I think you could see at certain points last season, Mane's form would drop and then Mo's would drop, and I don't think I've heard the argument a lot. We shouldn't have got rid of Sadio. We should have got rid of Mo instead, or like vice versa. Or we should never have let like any of them leave. And I don't think that would have changed our position at all in this season. If I'm honest, I think there's a lot of tiredness off last season. In all honesty, I think that's a big part of it, especially with then the World Cup happening in the winter. I just think I think after last season, the hunger's sort of gone because of how close we came to everything and everyone going, "Oh, if you're gonna do it, this'll be the only chance you get at doing it." And I do think mentally that will play on the players' minds of, "Well, we didn't manage to do it last season, so." But God knows, we have to just see how we come back next season at this point because it is such a poor season compared to what we've been used to over the past 5 years. As a Scouser living in London, yes, the Geordies are down here in force. Yeah, well and truly. I've seen so many videos. It is so cool. My brother's having an amazing time, which I'm made up for him. He is a massive Red, but because he doesn't live in Liverpool, he goes to a lot of Newcastle games. So to see him just buzzing to experience that when I've experienced it with, I've been fortunate enough to experience it with Liverpool. Um, I'm really happy for him. At the minute, genuinely from what I'm seeing, it feels like when we have our cup parades and it's just mental. Um, why do Liverpool fans not like Arsenal? Like they aren't rivals, they barely compete with each other. It's just a top six thing. I don't think any teams in the top six really like each other. Um, and then obviously there was it the '89 season? God, I can't remember. Obviously, I wasn't born until like the years in my head. I cannot think of them properly. But when Arsenal won the cup or stopped Liverpool from winning the cup at Anfield as well, so it was. I think that's probably got a big part to do with it. So far, this game's not been exciting, but I'd rather we I'd rather we have a boring game and get the 3 points at this point. It's good to see Virgil back there on the pitch at the minute. They are passing it between Virgil quite a bit at the back, just trying to figure out what to do. But just to see him having the presence on the pitch and that back four, just passing the ball across the back line is really good to see. Jota's on the ball. It's Gakpo. Go on, Gakpo. Gakpo did pretty good then. He had 2, 3 players around him, but he has gone down. Rob over the cross in, and it just goes straight out of Palace play. Gakpo be okay. Gakpo's limping a bit, and I'm like, just be okay, please. Just say you're just like shaking it off. They're showing it back here. Ouch. I think he just got a little kick to the shin. Yeah, 1989, Michael Thomas. I knew it was. I didn't want to say the player's name and then be wrong. But like, my dad still goes on about that final day of the season to this day, and we watch it so much on the telly because we actually see my auntie's partner in the video, which is quite funny. As a little kid, go on, Trent. Trent went for the cross, but it was blocked and has gone out for a throw-in. We've hit the writers block for sure, but we'll be good with time. I hope Newcastle wins tomorrow. They played amazing. What do you think about Nick Pope being suspended from a red card he got in the PL? I do understand how it goes across the domestic trophies, but I do think, well, domestic leagues and games, but for me personally, I think it should go against all competitions, including UEFA, or just stick to the competitions it's in. Um, that was we had a cross in them, but again, no one's there for the ball, which seems to be the story constantly this season. I do feel really bad for the Newcastle fans. I just think having Nick Pope suspended for them when Nick Pope has been absolutely phenomenal ever since he's gone there. He's been arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, in my opinion, since he's gone to Newcastle. Um, so that is really tough for them. And then to figure out that Dubravka can't play because he's played twice for United in the Carabao Cup. Oh, Mo with the shot, but just went just wide and hit the side net. I do think though that Palace's keeper would have had that covered. Um, but in my opinion, I do think it's quite a good omen that Karius is in goal for them for the first time since the Champions League final. He's playing a professional game of football, and it's in another cup final, and it's for Liverpool's like one of Liverpool's biggest rivalries. He's playing against United, and he can stop them getting a trophy. I genuinely think it's written in the stars that Karius is going to have an absolute blinder, and I do hope he does because I think not only would it be a massive confidence lift for him, and then he could go back to playing full-time football, not necessarily for Newcastle, but for another squad, maybe somewhere in the summer he gets moved to. Um, but also I think Liverpool fans wouldn't necessarily like forget what happened, but I do think a lot of forgiveness would happen. Because there is still a lot of Liverpool fans that give him absolute hate for that final, and yeah. What do you honestly think the reason Liverpool are the way they are this season? I genuinely don't know. You can watch my matchday vlogs all this season, and genuinely, all I constantly keep saying is you cannot put a finger on exactly what the issue is. People say an aging squad, but an aging squad wouldn't suddenly drop as much as it has within a season. We've brought new players in, and I say aging squad, it's not that old of a squad when you actually look at it. Again, it could be tiredness, but then you go, well, footballers should be used to this amount of games, but it's the intensity of last season. I don't think anyone can really compare anything to that. The knackered, yeah. Someone genuinely thinks Aston Villa are going to be a champion this season. In what cup? Oh, so I missed that because I was reading a comment, but Ali passes out a passes back to Trent, and Trent just makes the mistake trying to cross it across to Henderson. And I think, is it Ayew? That comes in, and we're lucky Ali's like very close to him, manages to put him off to just send it out. But I don't think Ali got a touch on that, but he must have because it's gone to a corner. But so like stupid from us, which has been happening constantly this season. Corners took, and it's a poor corner from Palace in all honesty. But they have managed to get it back and send it down, but just gone out for a goal kick. Hi Becca. Go on, Jota. Champions in the Superior League, maybe. Or in the online gaming leagues now. I think they're pretty serious, aren't they? But yeah. Oh, go on. Gakpo's just crossed the ball in, but there was not enough power behind it to get it to Jota. This game is going to be a challenge and watch, yeah. I think every game this season for us has been a challenging watch. That I think you can tell in the end of the video of the game, the Real Madrid game that I done. After that 20 minutes, I was done. I was like, nah. As soon as them 2 goals went in, I was like, nah, we're not like to go from against Real Madrid to go from 2-0 up to let them put 2 goals in that easily. I knew it was over. Do I watch the Turkish league? I do not. Trying to watch the Premier League is difficult enough when you work and then do other bits of work and hobbies on the weekend. I am trying to get into some other sports. I'm trying to get into the NFL and the MLS. How's my day been? It's been pretty good. Actually, I announced the winner for the Simicus signed shirt giveaway over on Instagram earlier today, and it was actually someone who has entered it on Instagram that won. There actually wasn't many entries over on YouTube, So if I ever do one in the future, always remember there'll be a way to enter on my YouTube channel, but also a way to enter on Instagram. Um, so I ended up, I think there was over 260 entries in it, which was amazing. So thank you everyone that entered it. And a person named Ross was chosen as the winner. I'm still waiting to hear back from Ross. So if Ross sees this, get back in touch with us so I can get it sorted. I have said if I have issues with whoever I'm trying to send it with, there will be another draw that takes place. Um, the Madrid game was a comedy of errors, schoolboy errors. It broke my heart. Yeah, it was absolutely devastating. And I even said in the video at the time, I think the issue, like not the issue, what made it even more devastating, I think, for us Liverpool fans was the fact we were 2-0 clear at one point. To then get absolutely demolished by them, I think that was just heartbreaking. Palace on the attack here with Ayew. Hendo just headers the ball out off that cross. Oh, I just play a little bit slower. I've been working on a Gakpo chant to the melody Get Back by the Beatles. I would really like Gakpo to get a chant soon. Um, I'm going to the Liverpool Legends game next month. Will you be there? Not currently. In all honesty, I need to start taking a break whenever I can. So that Legends game is the perfect chance for us to have a little bit of a break from doing social media stuff, because I did mention it earlier on Instagram, but I think I need to just not keep my head in the world of social media so much at times, because there is certain um, issues. I'll put it politely, but I still enjoy doing it. Like none of that's changed. I just think I need to start taking little breaks for myself with it. So that Legends game, unfortunately, I will not be there, but I will be following what happens in it. Oh, go on, Jota! Oh, Jota had a shot straight at the keeper. Really good shot as well. He's just unlucky that, yeah, even commentary say it's just unfortunate, straight at the keeper. Um, but yeah, it is just ridiculous. Yeah, Becca, I do hope you enjoy it though, because I've been to a few Legends games and they are really good. Last Legends game, the Legends of the North game, it was the Legends of the North game. I actually went with everyone from Mirwalls who do the mural paintings around Anfield. I'm sure you've seen me videos with stuff from them in, or you've seen me post about them, but I do work with them on photography side of things quite a bit. And we all went together, all the artists and everyone else, and we went to the Legends game together, and it was a really cool experience. Hence why I didn't film that one, but it was a really cool experience to share with them. Oh, so far, sorry. So far we're just so sloppy when it comes to the final third yet again. We're just losing the ball too much. Which we're lucky that Palace are doing the same thing, but I'd say Palace have probably had the better chances with that one where Trent just messed up and sent it well in, Ali. Oh, come on, Robbo! He's lucky that the offside there. Robbo gets the ball passed back from Alisson, and Robbo just sort of like doesn't attempt to go and get it and just waits for it. What's your view on Simicus might leave this summer? I know you like the player, but would you prefer a left back that would challenge Robbo more? I honestly don't think we'd get a left back that would challenge Robbo more, because I don't think many players that are good enough to sit in reserve for Liverpool um, would challenge them as well as Robbo gets challenged by Simi. I think to get someone better than Simi in, they'd want to be playing week in, week out, and genuinely, I'm surprised that oh, go on. Naby just got took out by 3 players. He stayed on his feet though, which was a bonus. But going back to Tsimikas, I genuinely think, like, if we got someone that was better than Tsimikas, to be honest, I'm surprised Tsimikas doesn't feel this way. It would be someone that would want to play week in, week out. Um, so oh, go on, Gakpo. Gakpo's clear. Oh, you took too long. Free kick, maybe 10, 15 yards outside the box. But yeah, I do think we'd be lucky to keep Tsimikas, I think, because there's plenty of squads that would take him and he'd start week in, week out. Plenty of squads in the Premier League that would do it, and there's plenty of squads in Europe that would. So for him to stay and play second fiddle at Robbo, I don't think we'd get someone better than Simi, basically. But I would also understand if, for his career and to play football, Simi choose to leave at the end of the summer, which would be heartbreaking for me. But one, he'll always be a Liverpool legend for that penalty in the FA Cup final. But also, I genuinely think he's a Liverpool fan through and through and would still love and show his support for the club outside. Um, Robbo with the ball in. Go on, Matip! Matip crossed the ball over, and it was just about to go out, and Jota headed it into the side post. I walked past you at Anfield, but I didn't know about your channel until later. My dad found your matchday vlog and recognised your name on the back of your shirt, haha. And that's how I found your channel. That's pretty cool, that. Thank you. I'm guessing I had a Syracuse top on, because that's what I'm known for around Anfield, I feel like. But yeah, like I say, if anyone ever sees me at the match, always come over and say hi to me and have a chat. I'm more than welcome to come and talk to me at the game. Can I just say the away end currently are like on top form, because all I can hear is them singing constantly. Like, well done to our away ends for staying loud during this, because like I said, it's not been the most exciting game so far. Both teams in the final third just seem to lose the ball, so there's not been much to go off from either side attacking wise. Naby booked. Again, still can't get used to him with the balls he had. And he's given away a free kick, so let's see how this goes. I thought they'd scored then for a second. Ball came in, headed it, and it went just, like, must have been like that, just wide. Ali barely moved though for it, and it wasn't one of those where Ali didn't know that had gone out, because you see by his reaction he goes for it, but doesn't dive like a sort of like stuttering. Like, Ali didn't know that was going out. Like, this also just proves, like, the fact Ali's not in form this season says a lot. In a lot of games he has been our best player, but why is Milner and Naby in midfield? It makes us weak. Haven't got a clue, in all honesty. I have said earlier, before the match had kicked off, when I came on and we were speaking about team news, for me personally, I would have put Fabs in this game and then maybe rested players midweek instead of resting players this game for midweek. What are your thoughts on the lineups? Our lineup still confuses me, I am not going to lie. That midfield with Naby, Henderson and Milner, I don't get it. Like I said before kick-off, for me personally, with this being away game at Palace, I would have gone for the stronger lineup today and then rested people at the Wolves game, ready for the Man U game. But so far it seems to be working. I think it was your name actually on the back of your shirt last time I went to Liverpool. I met Bill Shankly's granddaughter and she wrote a personal message, Gary Gillespie's autographed, and I met some of the Liverpool women's players and got their autograph. That's really cool. But I am going to say, unfortunately, I do not have my name on the back of my shirts anywhere. I do have really old ones from when I was a kid that have my surname, Neri, on the back, but I haven't worn them in the match, so I don't know how you would have seen my name on the back of my top. So maybe it was someone else, but you found my channel, so thank you. I would put Harvey. Yeah, and now I can see that Klopp's gone for Harvey as a substitute constantly lately. So I'm not surprised by the Harvey situation. Go on, Jota. Oh, you should have passed it to Robbo. Oh, Klein's fouled Jota. Nathaniel Klein with a yellow card against his former side, which is interesting. Oh, please be okay. This isn't looking good for Jota, by the way, guys. Jota is, like, he looks in pain holding his calf. Ouch! You just showed it back. And he's not exactly trapped, Jota, but he has sort of, like, caught the back of him, and it looks painful. Oh, I thought it was your last name. I don't know why I thought that. I used to have stuff with my old name on it, and some of it does still fit me. I've just not wore it to the ground yet, and it's very, very rare you'll be able to see my name on the back of my top. One, if I had my top out, usually my hair is that long, it just hides it. But two, I am usually that cold. I am always wearing a hoodie. Hi, Dave. People were asking in the live earlier on Instagram, who am I doing podcasts and having chats with and that. And Dave is one of them. Me and Dave are having a chat tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. If Dave wants to put in the comments when that will all be out, feel free to. Just currently got Trent and Mo over the free kick. Mo's placing the ball, but I feel like this is more Trent territory than Mo. Will Trent score this? That is the question. But it looks to me like Mo was going to take it. And then, but it's more Trent's area. You've got a Palace player refusing to move back to his correct position here. This is doing my head in. Come on, Liverpool. Oh! So Mo just sort of rolled it back. Trent whacked it. I think it was on target from Trent, but who was it? It was actually, it came off a Palace player's foot and then whacked Henderson in the head. Oh, actually, it didn't. It just went straight and hit Henderson on the head. From that first replay, I genuinely thought it had hit a Palace player and then gone off Hendo. It was on target and Hendo just headed it. Like, why? Yeah, so Dave's just put in, go and check out Dave's channel because tomorrow it's 1 p.m. and it's live. I sounds like I was doing, and it's live on Sky. But yeah, I didn't know if it was live or not, so there you go. It is going to be live. Me and Dave will be talking Liverpool, which should be interesting, especially depends on how tonight goes. I can't deal with another depressing game after Tuesday from us. We need to win, definitely. Yeah, Hendo was 100% in the way. I don't know what Henderson was doing, to be fair. Henderson didn't even have a Palace player in front of him, and he just blocks the area that Trent was going to end up going for. That doesn't sum up our season. God knows. Yes, Becca, subbing to Dave's channel. The only thing is, I'm just going to share a bit of like behind the scenes information list. As you can see me fix my hair, I go for that side because do you know how your camera usually mirrors? This one doesn't mirror for some reason. Robbo with the cross, straight at the goalkeeper's hands up. What what's the best seat you sat in at Anfield? Oh, that is a good question. So for the no, it wasn't the friendly. So just after COVID, when we had the two friendlies at Anfield before the season where everything was back open, I actually went and sat front row, virtually in line with the halfway line, in the lower Kenny, and it was amazing. But that was for a friendly. For an actual proper game, I would say I've sat real low down on the Kop before, row 6, towards the corner with, the lower Kenny, and that was a really good area to sit in. Um, to be honest, anywhere in the lower main stand, although the atmosphere isn't brilliant, it depends what you wanna go for, whether you wanna go for atmosphere or whether you wanna go for view. I think if you wanna go for a bit of both, like, lower Kop is always, like, really good. Oh, Gakpo one. Came off a Palace player. Oh, Trent's got the ball off Milner. Poor ball in Trent. Um, Ball's gone out for a phone, but yeah. Yeah, anywhere, Dave was right. Anywhere at Anfield is a bonus, 100%. But best seats I've sat in for view wise, probably is lower main stand. Um, for atmosphere, I really enjoyed the view was not the best, but towards the back of the lower Annie. Now the view, I will warn you, if you're ever sitting in the lower Annie at the back, obviously before the expansion's done, it was really bad. But the atmosphere was just amazing. It was the Atletico Madrid game. I really enjoyed that atmosphere. But the Kop, anywhere in the Kop's really good view, but you have the atmosphere as well. Obviously, everyone knows the main stand's not the best of atmospheres. Like anywhere in the main stand ever since they rebuilt it is not. It's not a brilliant atmosphere. Um, be interested to see how that goes though with the Annie Road once the expansions took place there. Um, I did that. I did the stadium tour. At Anfield last April. Wow, it was awesome. Nightlife was buzzing. Stayed in Liverpool for a couple of days. Found a nice pub called the Baltic Fleet by the docks. Yeah, Liverpool's always a good city visit. My mates actually visited for the first time ever. So these are mates that I've had since moving up to Durham when I was younger. And they never visited Liverpool, and she came down for the first time. Was it early October? And she's already planning on coming back. Um, I'm at the Wolves game Wednesday. I'm sitting in the Kop. Yeah, that'll be a really good place to be sitting for that game. To be fair, I'm gonna be in the upper main stand, right in the middle of it. So I'm gonna be up in the gods, but as long as I'm there, that's all that matters. Um, my dad has a membership and couldn't get a ticket, any tickets all season. Yeah, it was so difficult to get tickets. I definitely have that issue with my membership. I've been lucky, and in a few of the like when you have the members sales at the beginning of the season and halfway through the season, I didn't get any. But then when they do the yes, how they get rid of it. When they do the other sales where if any tickets have been handed back, then that's like usually where I've picked up a few this season. But it is genuinely about who you know, and that's like it's really frustrating at times. Um, but like I'm not complaining because I'm in a lucky position where I do know quite a few people who 9, 8 times out of 10 will probably be able to find a spare, but it will be like day before the game or day of the game. I'm lucky that I live that close to Anfield that I can just go, yeah, I'll take it. How is the game going? It has been very boring, in all honesty. Gakpo's shirt is no longer white; it is covered in mud and grass stains, which is fun. Dave says, "I have to come over to Liverpool from Dublin just to stand outside the ground. The match day buzzers." Yeah. It is amazing how many people do come to Anfield. I do say to people, if you come to Liverpool and you wanna watch the football, you don't necessarily have to be at the ground. Like, there's so many places. There's Hotel Anfield, which I think everyone knows is a big favourite for me. I absolutely love it in there. Then there's the Park pub, which is opposite the Cop, which I've been in for a few times before. But, like, big games, go and check out my like, if you wanna know places to go and watch big games at Liverpool when you haven't got a ticket for it, whether it's at Anfield, away, or a cup final, like, go and watch me at Hotel Anfield for the finals last season. It was absolutely incredible in there. You like, as close as you could get to being at the stadium. The queues for ages were painful, for real, yeah. The queues for getting tickets are so hard and disappointing. Like, it's ridiculous. Um, Hotels here in Taggies is another really good one. I do unfortunately, they've not got Jamie Webster. They've got a new lad who I've not seen yet. I'm not sure on his name. But we were nearly in trouble there. Palace crossed the ball in, and their player just couldn't get his head on it. So lucky with that. Who was it that crossed the ball? I swear I need glasses because I can't see this. But yeah, I've not been at a hotel TF and Taggies since Jamie Webster's not been. But for me, the thing is, I love Taggies as well as Hotel Anfield, but I get cold so easy. So imagine me being stood outside in Taggies. I need somewhere that I can stand inside and out of the shelter because I get too cold way too easy. Up the Saudi mags for tomorrow, definitely. I can. Oh, the best thing is, and I hate admitting this on here, but when I was younger, I could not go to a football game without wearing something football-y. So whether that was a football shirt, a scarf, or whatever. And when we when we were taking my brother for his first ever game at St James's, I managed to pick up a cheap Newcastle shirt. So we all went in Newcastle shirts. So at one point I wore a Newcastle shirt, and I sort of wish I had it for tomorrow, because I am tempted to go and get rid of it, Trent, get back, stay with him. Hendo's got it. We're fine, I think. But yeah, I sort of still wish I had that to go and watch it in town, but watching a bunch of Newcastle fans possibly. If anyone knows anywhere in town that's showing it and is potentially going to have a big Newcastle crowd there, let me know. I am tempted to go up to Concert Square and see if I can find it. The Betrayal, yeah. I wouldn't. The weird thing is, I'd feel really weird about doing it now, but back then, like, I couldn't go to the game without wearing something football-y. Pop World, yeah. Um, I've missed unsubbed. I've missed comments and now I don't know. There we go. What are my thoughts on the owners not selling the club now? I think genuinely that was just said to get us to shut up in the transfer window now, and I think it was so wrong for them to have done that. I think they should have been honest from the get-go and maybe said when that rumour started, go, actually, no, we're not selling the club at all. Like, they should have done that. Jamie Webster, from what I've seen, has not performed at all lately at Taggies. There is a new guy, and like I said, I cannot think of his name. I've not seen him perform yet, so I'm not sure on it. Palace, for the last 2 minutes or so, are all over us. Ball comes off Naby and very nearly goes into the back of the net, but we're lucky it goes out for a corner there. St James's Park is a big ground. It is massive. Anyone who's ever gone to an away game there knows after that walk up to the top, you are out of breath and need oxygen and feel like you're dying. It is horrendous. I took my mum for the first, my mum's been to St James's Park before, But I took her to the away end for the first time last season, and oh, she was laughing on the way out that we were all out of breath, but we were all still singing, "Go on, Mo! Mo's clear, Mo's clear." 3 defenders now lined up with him, but Jota's there as well. Mo straight at the keeper again. Eddie Howe's done a great job at Newcastle. Hope they beat the scum. Eddie Howe's done really well. It makes me sort of upset though, because I do think if the new owners had came in while Rafa was at the club, like imagine Rafa with Newcastle, like that would have been amazing to see. It would have been so good, but unfortunately he came in at the wrong time and was stuck with Mike Ashley. How do you feel about Real Madrid? They're a good team. Yeah, Real Madrid are a good team. It's just, as a Liverpool fan, it's very frustrating to play against them so much in so many big games, just because of how good they are. I do think now they are good, but last season when they were already with Palace are really unlucky to not have scored in the last few minutes. They just had another one where I'm not sure who's got the touch on it. I think it's deflected, or has their player skied it. Let me just see this. To be honest, Trent should have cleared that. Yeah, hit the upper. He actually hit the upper bar and sent it to Sky into the air. But yeah, last season Liverpool would be 2-0 up at least. I don't know. Were we 2-0 up at half time last season? It does not look good for the second half of Real Madrid. No, it doesn't. It is going to be so difficult. One with their support in Anfield was absolutely amazing. Like, and I was actually, I'll hold my hand up and say this: the respect the Real Madrid fans showed Anfield and showed the Liverpool fans was absolutely amazing. Like, I was genuinely shocked by it. So I can imagine what it's going to be like at the Bernabeu. It's going to be absolutely mental, I think, from their fans. They're going to be amazing, which is just going to make it even more difficult for us because we've not got many fans. Like, Real Madrid haven't given us that many tickets for this game. But yeah, I hope to meet you someday at Anfield. You seem like such a lovely person. Honestly, oh, thank you. Comments like that really, like, I'll let everybody know I do not take compliments well. My whole family know this. Anyone who knows me knows this. So when I get comments like that, they do really warm my heart, but I never know how to react to them. But thank you. And James saying love your content, another thank you. Genuinely means quite a lot to us when people say they enjoy it, because especially this season I've had a few discussions with other content creators, and a lot of us are saying like how just because of how Liverpool are playing this season, the amount of negativity you get towards yourself and the work you put out is being like so much increased off last season. And it is funny at times, but also it's not needed. See, like we all know why. We all, like I've said, it's because of how we're playing. So it's quite funny to think that Liverpool playing bad affects us. It's quite worrying that our best midfielder this game is a 37-year-old. Yeah, and it's also worrying that other games this season, our best midfielder is an 18-year-old. When we've got like Henderson, we've got Fabs, we've had Thiago, and you look at Stefan, and Stefan's been arguably our best midfielder this season. I love the voice of Anfield when he says the lineup. Actually, it's not the voice of Anfield that says the lineups. Quite funny enough, it's Peter McDowell. And oh my God, Matt, Ali's just got to come right out and clear the ball. I'm saying this now. Palace, depends on how much extra time there is in this first half. I would be very surprised if Palace don't score, because there's nothing coming from us attacking wise at the minute. It is all Palace, and they're coming so close every single time. It's just going to take one little mistake. Getting bored of this 4-3-3 formation now. we've tried changing the formation earlier this season, it didn't do much though, so I mean 5-2 is a big score to turn around, definitely, and everyone's going, "Oh, Istanbul, Barcelona at home." Yeah, it was Barcelona at home. This is going to a Bernabeu that's gonna be full of Real Madrid fans screaming and shouting for their team. It's a completely different game. Um, do people get annoyed when you film an away goal at Anfield? Funny enough, I've never had that about filming an away goal. Um, I do get looks when I speak to my camera now and again, I won't lie, but, um, yeah, it's one of them things I think I've just learned as well to also block out, like, anyone making comments around me. I've had it before where someone and if this was the derby, I you can probably tell from a lot of the footage, I very rarely lift the camera up. The camera's usually here and I'm looking over the top of it. And at one point, there was the derby last season, there was something going on in the other corner. From where we were, no one could see what was going on, so I just lifted my camera up for literally 5 seconds just to see what was going on down there, whether we were getting a corner, whether someone's kicked off, whether we were getting a free kick, what had gone on. And literally I went that and go 1, 2, 3, and then someone just went like that on us, and it was a woman behind me, and she went, "I can't see." And I was like, "None of us can see what's going on over there. My camera's not blocking that bit." So you do get some arms, and I think it's people feeling like because they would go half time, it's 0-0, but because people see someone with a camera or the phone out, one, they think you're a tourist most of the time, and two, I do feel like and this was a woman who'd done it to me, but because I was a younger female, I don't think she thought I'd say anything back to her. So she was sort of doing it because she was there with her mate, sort of doing it to be like, "Look at me, I'm a better fan," sort of thing, and it was like, it's not. The way she the way she did it, I wouldn't mind if she tapped me on the shoulder and just said, like, but I wasn't blocking anything at that point, and it was a bit uncalled for. That's the only bad incident I'd say I've had. Um, but yeah, let me just change that. Rather have an 18-year-old midfielder than a 37-year-old midfielder, an 18-year-old get better over time. Yeah, definitely. But the point is the fact he's still got a lot to learn and improve on, and the experienced ones cannot do anything. Liverpool did need that half-time whistle badly, like that. I think if there was maybe an extra 2 minutes of added time there instead of the one, it's like 3, 4 minutes maybe, in total. Like I think Palace might have scored there. I think we are quite lucky that whistle's gone when it's gone. I am the same when people compliment me on anything I do, to be honest. I can get quite anxious socially though, so do I. And funnily enough, this is not a sponsored thing, but I do have a code and that with them. I get really bad social anxiety, and I also get really bad anxiety before I go to sleep. And done a post the other day. I don't know whether anyone's seen it in the chat. Of CBD gummies and the amount that helps. Go like before the match, I usually get really stressed and like just about being social with people and being in a big crowded area. So I like started taking it before the game as well. The amount it has helped. So it's from Orange County CBD. And if you go over on my Instagram, there's a post of like loads of information. There's like a link in the description and also a code you can use. So if you go and check that out, that might be something that might help you if you do struggle with anxiety, especially social anxiety as well. Am I going to Madrid? No, unfortunately not. One, I can't afford to go to European countries every other week. Two, I work during the week anyway, so I couldn't take time off. And three, like on top of it being expensive, I wouldn't be able to get the ticket anyway, so I wouldn't be able to go. Um, Palace haven't had a shot on target yet. It's still anyone's game. Really? Like Palace have come close though, quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if any results. I feel like that every single game. Um, Milnerson is the new Mick I quite like that. Hello Courtney, I love your game day vlogs. Thank you so much. I had another one. I've had a few comments like that in this chat. And I just want to say massive thank you for it because it does mean a lot hearing that people enjoy it. Yeah, Becca, hopefully it does help. You can get. So I had a pack sent from them that was like a 12 pack just to test it out. So you can get smaller packs to test it out, but there's codes on. So if you go over that link, I think that code will get you 15% off now. I think they've upped it. So you'll get 15% off if you do choose to get any. But they've definitely worked at the minute. Do blocked shots count as shots on target if they would have gone in? I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but from the way I've saw it, I definitely think Palace have had at least one on target. The only thing is though, Palace's shots and attacks on goal have looked more promising than ours. Because all of our shots, yeah, they've been on target, but they've been straight at the keeper with no power behind them, which is just so frustrating to have. It'd be so much better if we were hitting off target, but it looked more promising. I know that sounds like it makes no sense whatsoever, but I hope people get what I mean. Um, but what does everybody else think about that first half? If you've been watching it along on the telly with us, it has been so boring. Need changes at half time, but Klopp went until about 65 minutes too late. Yeah, I keep saying a lot this season. I think subs need to be made earlier, but they're just not happening. So, I'm not exactly surprised because, well, sorry, they're just showing just little clips back and I'm like, but talking about subs, can we talk about why Carvalho is having no involvement with our games anymore? Personally, I'd bring him on in this because he's not a bad player. I don't understand why he's not getting the game time when he's not got an injury. He's not had any so bad games that he deserves to be benched for so long. He's been pretty decent in the games he's played, so and he's only a young lad, so the more he plays, the more he'll improve and learn. So personally, I don't understand why Carvalho isn't coming on. I think we've been lucky Palace could have scored, yeah. Straight away, that's what I've been saying. I've seen that first half so many times this year, yeah. I think it's just one thing we can say, which is sort of a positive about Liverpool, we've been consistent this season, which isn't necessarily a good thing because our consistent rubbishness isn't doing us any favours. It's one of those this season. Pep didn't make any changes until 80 plus minutes against Leipzig, yeah, and look what happened there. Sorry, I had a hiccup. That's what I've been wondering what's happened to Carvalho. Yeah, no one really knows what's going on with him. Like, he's not injured. He's just not playing. He's constantly on the bench and he's not getting subbed on. I'd love to see him get subbed on in this game. Personally, I do think he could bring a lot to it. But for some reason, Jurgen's just not chosen much this season. Which is a bit disappointing because I do feel like he's a really promising young player. And the less and less game time he's having, like, you're delaying his progress and becoming a better player even more. Like, it's going to take him longer and longer to get back into fully playing and then learning and making. He needs to be able to make mistakes and learn from them because he's only young. Same with Harvey. But Harvey gets given the game time. Which I'm not complaining at, but I'm saying, like, they need to be treated like equally. Just followed you on my photography account on Insta too. Um, oh, thanks. I'll check it out because I quite like photography accounts, so I'm gonna check it out. I reckon if Hendo didn't head it up all the way, we would have scored. Yes, definitely. There was no Palace players to block it or clear it or whatever. It was gone straight through, and I do think it was on target. Can't wait to get Diaz back. Me too. Diaz last season when he came to the club was amazing, and I'm hoping when he comes back from injury finally that we get that same buzz back, and it sort of gives us a lift maybe. Who would you sub on for the second half? If it was me, this isn't what I think's gonna happen. Carvalho, like I've just been speaking about. Bobby, I think Bobby comes on for Jota and Jota gets rested since he's not played a full game. Let me check our bench quickly. Because now you've got me thinking, I'm like, who have we got in the squad? Let's find out who. It would help if I was scrolling along the correct bit. Right, so I think Fabinho will come on. I think Fabinho comes on for Milner. Because Milner's not going to last the full game. And maybe Stefan comes on for Naby Keita. The only thing is then, and then does Elliot come on for Henderson? Because I don't feel like Henderson lasts a full game. No one in our midfield will last that full game. Who else? Let me know in the comments. Who would you let come on for the second half? Because I'm just thinking about as this game goes on, none of that midfield's staying on. Jota's not going to stay on the full game, so there's 4 subs already. And then you just pray we don't get an injury. We have 1 spare we can use if we need to. But looking at that bench, I can't think of who I'd bring on. Yeah, it'll be Fabinho for Naby. Yeah, Darwin is a big mess. I don't get why we sort of put I do because of how big of a game it was. But I would say hindsight's like a perfect thing to have, but I don't get why we risked Darwin when he already had the injury in the Real Madrid game. Hopefully he's back for Wolves, and if he's not back for Wolves, we 100% need him back for that United game. So we'll have to wait and see with that. That is a big nervous one. But yeah, I've got snacks with me and I want to eat them, but I really don't want to eat them on camera. So I'm like, because I might eat this after the game, but I've got a cupcake. By the way, these M&S cupcakes are really nice. I got them got them yesterday actually for my dad's birthday. They're really nice. Because we all have really different tastes. So I had cupcakes to celebrate. My dad had, what did my dad have? My dad had some, I don't know what cake he had, but then his girlfriend had not carrot cake, coffee cake. So yeah, we're quite an awkward bunch. Are you going to the United game? I haven't got a ticket currently, but fingers crossed, positive thoughts that I do end up getting a ticket. I probably won't know until this week begins. So I'll be getting in touch with a few people and putting the feelers out with everyone, trying to get the ticket. Miss Manny, good, we sold him. We didn't actually sell him, he left on a free because he didn't sign a new contract. How far are you away from Anfield? Maybe a 10-minute walk, if that. Not far. I said, if you were watching me Instagram live earlier today, I actually live that close to Anfield and Goodison. that when the wind blows right, you can hear what's going on in the stadium. So last season when I had COVID, I think we played Chelsea. We played Chelsea. We got a penalty. Obviously, I was in the house watching it because I had COVID. Um, but me dad's partner was in the back garden and she heard everyone celebrate because we got given a penalty. And she came running in, she's like, "What's going on in the game?" And we're like, "We've got a pen." And she's like, "That's what the cheer was for." So I ran outside and I could hear us all singing. And then today I went out into the garden at one point and I actually heard Everton fans booing, which was quite funny. And that was during the game quite early on. Harvey Elliott is coming on in the second half, so I'm guessing, is that Naby coming off or Milner? Um, I'd say Naby, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I could hear Goodison today as well in my room. So while I was doing the Instagram live, or getting ready for the Instagram live actually, to announce the signed shirt winner. I could actually hear them in like was in my room, windows closed, and I could hear Goodison, and I was like, "What is going on?" Liverpool need to reset all team next season because right now players don't have hunger to win 100%. Got Pep Linders talking to Harvey there, hyping him up. I think they've just said Naby's going off. Yeah, Naby. So Harvey from Naby, which is a pretty interesting one. I do wonder with it being so early, is Naby injured already again? Because it's Naby, so it's like I wouldn't be surprised, but it's also like I didn't see anything from him to say he was injured. Um, but got the second half about a kickoff here. Come on, Liverpool. There we go, kicked off in the second half. Oh, I hope this is so much better than the first half for us because that first half was quite boring. Greetings from Colombia. Hello in Colombia. I know I have a lot of followers in Colombia now due to Luis Diaz, which is pretty cool. I know ever since the Norwich game when he scored his first goal, I think it was Norwich game he scored his first goal, because of how I got a celebration and everything, because it was right by us. I just always remember this game. Like, I think every other comment was from someone in Colombia that was cheering them on. Um, do you think Everton will be relegated? Oh, Harvey with a good ball. Harvey with a good ball. Oh, Jota was so close to it, but it just went straight at the keeper. I do think if Jota had got a touch that ball, it would have gone in. But if he followed through with it, he would have got the keeper and could have potentially been carded. So do I think Everton will be relegated? I honestly don't know. Um, I think within the next few games we'll get a gist, but they go from winning one week to losing the next, and it's like it's too difficult to call at the minute. Have you tried a half-time pie at Anfield? No, because I'm a fussy eater and I don't like pies. I actually get a hot dog usually at some point, as it's like a superstition I have. I need to have a hot dog when I'm at the match. And I'll have it, and I'll just eat the sausage and a tiny bit of bread because that's how fussy I am. Um, Harvey on, we need something 100%. Is this my first live watch along? No, I done one last season for the Forest game. And I done one before for a friendly. But if you do scroll back in this video at some point, I do explain why I don't do watch alongs much because one, when it's a home game, I'm usually at the game. If it's a big game, I prefer to watch it at the pub. But also when my family's here, I can't really do it. Get rid. Oh. But yeah, I'm out watching the game, so I don't do them very often. It is nice to do them now because I get to have a catch up with everyone and we sort of get to discuss our thoughts on the team and what's going on in the game. which in this game is not much to talk about, to be fair, so far. Just that we're not playing great and it's a bit being boring. Oh, Robbo. Go on, Matter. But Mo hit the crossbar. Also, I'm sorry for the noise I make watching the footy because they're pretty ridiculous. Usually it gets drowned out at the match. But yeah, so this is my one of very few watch-alongs. But usually I do match day content for when we're at home, so there'll be match day vlogs. So if you're interested in that sort of thing where it's actually at the game and I talk about my thoughts, team news, you get to see the atmosphere at Anfield and then obviously quite a bit of the game. Go and check them out because I do tend to cover quite a lot of the game and I'm quite lucky that I sort of sense when goals are coming. I feel like sometimes I manage to get it, but obviously for every so many goals I record, I'm gonna miss so many, and then also I record and nothing happens. Big half here, Reds, 100%, Dave. We need it so we have something nice to talk about tomorrow as well. What a chance, yeah. Mo was just, oh, I honestly thought that was going in at first. Go on, Trent. Oh, Elliot. At least we got the throw in. Ref having a word with Henderson here. Don't know what's going on. Oh, a bit of pushing and shoving between the two of them, which I don't understand why the ref sort of pulled them for a chat. Sounds like Love Island, that. Refs pulled Henderson for a chat. Monfage. Thank you, Dave. I I know you said in the morning I won't be up until after. I won't be up until like 11 o'clock. And that sounds really bad, but I am enjoying my lions while I am off work. But I'll definitely get in touch with you as soon as I'm up. How come everyone was booing when the Champions League anthem happened? Oh, sorry, Palace on the break here. Virgil, take him. Yes, Virg. Virg just passes it back to Robbo. So how come everyone was booing when the Champions League anthem was playing? It started a while back, to be honest. A lot of people think it's just after Paris. But basically, I think when the Super League started was when Trent with the cross, but keeper tips it over for a corner. So when the Super League was first talked about, I think we first started booing then, if I can remember correctly, just because obviously it's UEFA being greedy and trying to get more money by creating a Super League. Then obviously Paris happened, and because we were playing Real Madrid, I think it was a lot more obvious to the TV cameras that everyone in that stadium was booing because UEFA just completely lied about Liverpool fans, along with the French authorities. Corner took and it was pretty poor from Robbo, to be honest. It's gone all the way back to like near enough Ali. Yeah, I think there's a pass back to Ali there. Yeah, pass back to Ali. But yeah, after everything's come out, obviously pretty recently about Paris, and we were playing Real Madrid again, which is similar to the final. I think everyone just felt so fed up with UEFA. I mean, I did. I booed. I sang along with the songs saying F UEFA because I just think it was disgusting. The way the whole Paris situation was handled, and then I think all of us that knew and saw the footage could sort of see what was going on, but they still decided to put out lies. Which as a Liverpool fan who's lived away from Liverpool and has had so much abuse thrown at me for lies to do with Hillsborough, to have them same sort of lies brought up again, where it's now came out in the findings that Liverpool fans actually saved lives by our behaviour. I mean, yeah, it just brought up a load. I think it brought up stuff for every single Liverpool fan. Every Liverpool fan knows the history of Hillsborough and what happened afterwards. And to have that, it was ridiculous. Um, Liverpool should be 1-0 up. We should be 1-0 up, but also at the end of the last half, you could argue Palace should have been. Harvey here with the ball in, but Gakpo's already gone past it. Gakpo get onside. Free kick. The police out in Paris were shocking, yeah. From all the footage, you can just see it. And even in the fan zone, when the game ended, after people were starting to leave, they went out and tear gassed even more. So it was like, what are you doing? I was in Liverpool for the final last year and it was crazy. Yeah, Liverpool's always crazy for finals. Like any cup game is mental in Liverpool and I love it. Um, yeah, Gakpo could have gone to United, but he chose to go to Liverpool. So he said no to United and came to us, which has happened quite a lot. Do you think top four is going to happen or if we even deserve it? Currently, I don't think we deserve it, but like the 2020-21 season, you can never rule it out us being in the top four. You don't know what's going to happen. Was there a handball there? You may be above us, but when was the last time you've actually done anything interesting? I know you're in a cup final tomorrow, but Liverpool nearly won every single trophy last season. Um, so understandably, he chose us over you. Um, what cameras do you use for film and photography? So for film and vlogs, I use the Canon G7X Mark II. And then for photography, I have a Canon. I can't remember what my Canon one is now. I'll have to come back to you on that. Top four is more within reach than you think. Fulham aren't good enough. Spurs are Spurs and Newcastle are inconsistent. I genuinely do think that Newcastle have got a good chance of staying up there, just the other ones. But yeah. Saying United smashed us when we beat you 9-0 overall last season says a lot. You didn't smash us, you just managed to beat us in poor form when everyone's managed to beat us. This game is I can see it just being a 0-0 draw at this point, in all honesty. Say that as we've got a corner, like, but still, I can still be in a 0-0 draw. Jota back in. Oh, Jota skied him. Oh, that's really cool, Becca. I am not a nerd with camera stuff, in all honesty. I find that side of it like pretty not boring, but it's like something that I struggle learning about. But the taking pictures and editing side, I really enjoy. Um, a little form, and they now think they're the hot shot. Yeah. on Harvey. Ah, Harvey not getting challenged at all and just has a simple ball to do, and he still manages to put it out for a throw-in. Oh, come on, Liverpool. Shouldn't be giving them this much of the ball in the last third. I would get Fab on, yeah. Fab, and like I said earlier, I'd love to see Carvalho come on in this game. I think the little bit of creativity he has, we're screaming for. And I do think him and Harvey link up really well. I'd bring Kenny on. Um, well cleared, Matter. He's holding man. Um, if they ban Man City down to League One as they should, that would open up a spot in the top four. Unfortunately, that investigation and them being found guilty is not going to happen for another few years, unfortunately. As much as I'd love that to happen. Another person to bring on, Firmino. I think we all keep forgetting Bobby's back. And maybe I'd bring off Jota just to rest him for the games coming up because he's not played much football since he's come back. And I'd bring on Bobby and let Bobby get some game time. In a just world. My legs are going, Dad, sat here watching this because it is that boring. Um, come on, Trent. To be honest, our away end's still going at it, and like hands up to them, like we're doing really well in that area. The atmosphere sounds amazing from the away end. Come on, Trent, cross it. Harvey, why did you flick it back to him when he's right by the players? Um, what you do with your camera gear when you're being interviewed on Red Men? Never seen you hold anything. My camera is literally, it is smaller than me. Yeah, I'd probably say it's probably like that size and just a little bit thicker, so I can put it in my pocket. So it's always in my coat pocket. Hence why I've always got either a coat on or something. Palace on the attack here. Ball crossed in and it's out beyond the goal, it's fine. But still shows Palace like really testing us at time on the attack. It's just they're having the same issues we are where they just cannot finish with getting the ball on target in anything creative. Um, I am. Oh yeah, Becca, that makes complete sense. Harvey lost so much development time for that injury. Yeah, where Harvey was before that injury, it was really promising, but I don't know if it's too early to say because he has been back for quite a while now, but I don't know whether I don't think he's the same player since he's come back from that injury. And that does happen with players. Players come back from an injury, completely different player. But whether he's lost it completely, I don't know. Again, Palace on the attack now. And we're just lucky that he's just whacked it off Henderson and Trent's managed to pick it up. Um, oh yeah, doing match day photography pitch side is a dream. I would love to do that. It's football photography was something I really wanted to get into at one point. The Redmen TV, lot or a laugh. Yeah, I love hanging around with them. We actually, a few of us went for a drink after um, the Leicester game, which was really nice. Because the only other time I've seen them outside of the match has been their parties, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, he's definitely not even close to the same player. I'm just saying though, I don't know whether it's something you bring back or whether it's past the point of that now. When will Nunes be back? I don't think anything's been confirmed with Nunes when he's coming back. Um, but yeah, again, Palace on the attack again. I don't think we've actually looked like we're about to attack. We just look like passing the ball around the field. Yet when Palace get the ball and they start going towards the goal, whereas we start going towards their end and it looks like we're just passing it around for fun. Oh, come on. See, we're getting lucky here because Palace just got into the box, and I don't know if it was Ayew or not, but he just fumbled it at his feet. Oh, come on, Liverpool. Harvey, get down the pitch. Harvey just passed it straight at a Palace player, and it's in the final third. You cannot be making them mistakes in them areas. This midfield needs a Jan Molby. Just get Jan Molby back in a Liverpool kit, it's fine. Ball out for the corner for Palace. As well as taking the time with these corners here. So it's as if they're playing for the draw, which I don't, to be honest, I wouldn't blame Palace just taking the time and trying to sneak a goal in at some point. I don't blame them for doing that, but it's just it frustrates me when teams do. Um, straight at Ali, Ali caught it, all good. I don't know what's going on with the pitch, yeah, but the players that like our kit, our white kit, the players have got grass stains, muddy patches, everything all over. Come on, Gakpo, go on, go on, go on. Ball's put out, but like, it's just gone on Ali, and Ali's in a black kit, so you think he should look the cleanest. They must have freshly painted the stripes or something because he's got a white patch of sliding across the line on his arm. Poor ball from Matt up there trying to find Trent. This midfield, we definitely need to liven up a bit more, whether it's Fabs, which I know bringing Fabs on to liven up isn't going to do much, but Jota thought he was passing it to me, but he doesn't. Um, do you want to keep Henda? Yes, but more as like a Milner style player where he's there when we need someone with experience on the pitch, but also it doesn't mean he's playing every single game. Speaking of Henderson, he's just got a yellow card for a free kick right outside the box. Yeah, the only transfer we've really made from midfield has been Thiago. But like I said earlier on, we've not only not replaced Wijnaldum, like you're saying, we never replaced Coutinho either, and they're two. We've managed to get by without a Coutinho style player, but can you imagine if we had a Coutinho style player or we had another Wijnaldum style player? Replacing either of them right now could make a massive difference. And I know, like I said, Coutinho was ages ago, but think about it, did we ever get a player in midfield that was as good as him? Um, age doesn't seem to bother Modric, no, it doesn't. And I was watching Sky earlier, and they were going on how Liverpool got beaten by an aged Real Madrid side, and going on about how old Modric is and, like, was slating his age and that, and I was like, "Yeah, but it's Modric." Like, what? Um, 37 going on 21, he definitely is. Looks like, you've got Palace making some subs, and I think we might be actually bringing on Fabs now. I'm just thinking who we're bringing off, Henderson or Milner. I'd say after that yellow, I'd say Henderson just in case, but my poor control from Milner there. Genuinely don't know who I'd take off here because Milner's looking knackered and Henderson's looking knackered and there's only yellow. To be honest, I'm surprised there wasn't a free kick there for Milner sliding, but I do think he got the ball, which might have helped him. Robbo as well, like, what's going on? I think it might be Fabs and Bobby coming on here, but I can't tell from the camera. Palace on the attack again, where Trent and Matip just managed to get the ball away from them. Yeah, both Bobby and Fabs coming on. Just have to wait and see who comes off. Two Palace subs. To be honest, the Palace players, it's just gone up on them close, they look knackered. So maybe if our fitness is a bit better than theirs over the next 20 minutes, it could help, but I can't see much changing in this game. When I say Fab, do I mean Fabinho or Fabio? I mean Fabinho. Fabio Carvalho is Carvalho. Fabs has always been Fabinho. Everyone that goes the game, like, you will literally shout Fabs at him all the time. So Jota and Trent off. Um, Firmino and Fabinho on. So that means Milner, I'm guessing, has gone to Trent's spot, but I don't understand that at all. Why's why's he brought Trent off? Trent didn't look injured. He didn't look knackered. I genuinely don't get what we're doing here. This whole team selection and subs is really confusing us right now, to be honest. Everyone's singing "Si Senor" at the match. Milner with the he was gonna cross it. Gets the ball taken off him instead. They should play 4-2-3-1 instead of 4-3-3. Like I said earlier, there has been times earlier in the season where we tried to change formation, but even that didn't work. Got Matip fighting with one of the well, not fighting, wrestling one of the Palace players there. Was Trent getting caught out or exposed on the right side? Only possible reason I can think for him getting taken off if no signs of injury. He's not been getting caught off as much as he has in some games this season, and he stayed on. So God knows. But if Trent's getting caught out, I wouldn't then put Milner in because the game's tactics aren't going to change, and Milner's not as strong as a right back then. can understand if he's wanna giving them some rest for the United game next weekend, but we've got the Wolves game coming up before then. Have you heard anything on the Anfield Road stand, being 4 months behind schedule, not ready for the new season? So, I know a lot of the reports have always said it's gonna be open next season. Um, I've been told from people at the club, and this was only maybe 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer. I got no, mustn't have been that long, maybe like 6 months ago. I got told that it's actually gonna be opening a year and a half from then, which was gonna be Robbo just handed it straight to the keeper, but Bobby was running it. But yeah, I got told it's not this season it's like, this season coming up, it's the season after. And that was from people at the club, so God knows what's actually happening because, like I said, people are getting told next season, and then I've been told from people to do with the club that it's opening the season after next. So I don't think anything is official with when it's opening yet. Obviously, before they open it as well, they have to do test events. Um, so they've got to figure out when that needs to be done as well. And a test event cannot be a proper football game. So we'd have to wait and see what goes on with that. Like I've said, from what I've heard of people to do with the club, it's not next season it's going to be opening, it's the season after. But I am not 100% sure on it because two different things are getting told to two different sets of people, to be honest. Palace with the corner. Ali punches it out. Is he there? Right, so Ali punches it out, Mo's got the ball, and then he goes, "Oh, it's offside." Like, why? Ali's literally got one sleeve that's near enough white now because he's rolled across the white paint that much. Either that or they've painted the goals post recently and he's been leaning on it. Why didn't he play advantage? So Milner got fouled and the ball went out to Fabs. Instead of playing advantage, he blew the whistle for a free kick. Personally, I think he should have played advantage because it would have been so much better. 15 minutes left and it's still 0-0. And Milner and Hendo still on the pitch. Oh, come on, he went down. Fabinho, Carvalho would be perfect for this fixture. Thank you very much for being saying that all game. He needs to come on. Have Liverpool won a single game in this kit? I've seen that going around quite a bit, and I haven't got a clue, to be honest. I'm trying to think of when I've worn it because I usually try and wear it. Sorry. When we're gonna wear it. I don't think I have seen us winning it. So Palace have got a free kick. You may have to say, and I can see this staying 0-0 now because there's only 15 minutes to go and there's not much changing. That was a weird free kick. He chose to play it out to the side. Instead of whipping it in, he chose to play it out and then it's being whipped in now. Hendo heads it out, whipped back in, and it's just completely scarred. Courtney, why are we saving Carvalho for what? We're not saving them, just one reason or another, Klopp is not choosing to play him, which really confuses me. Like, remember that Newcastle game? That Newcastle game was amazing when he came on and he's done the last minute goal. They're currently doing the round of applause for John Watson. But yeah. Yeah, obviously John Motson passed away this week, so they're just doing on the 77th minute. They're doing rounds of applauses for him, which is a very nice touch from the football fans. They did actually go on, the Liverpool fans, and I did see a few people I know those, so I was like, um, but yeah, this game. I said it earlier on, and I sort of wish I put a bet on it because I do think it's going to be 0-0. To be honest, when I was getting everything ready for the game, I was like, I feel like this will be 0-0. Everyone knows I don't do predictions, and I was like, I feel like this is going to be 0-0. Come on. Oh, why? Yeah, this game's like, I cannot watch any more of this later school. I don't blame you. It is, it's not a great game of football to watch. Um, but I don't know, I might have a late surprise. We're coming what up to the 10 minutes left mark. But currently I couldn't see anything coming from this game. But there might be a last minute little surprise to happen. We'll have to wait and see. Mo Salah offside. Here we go, a little bit of a break here. Harvey Elliott up, Mo Salah past Gakpo, Gakpo! Oh! Gakpo sends it wide. To be fair, he did sort of have a bit of competition up there and he has gone down. Whether it's a foul or not, I don't know. Um, no, because Gakpo does get a touch to it, but it's the little. Didn't get the dink right. One of them games, isn't it, guys? And then Matip just pointlessly pushes someone over. Oh, like this game's got like, if someone gets a red card in these last few minutes right now, I would not be surprised the way this is going. There's just stupid little decisions being made by players here. And the experienced players too, like Matip, Fabs, Henderson, Milner. Oh, this free kick. Isaiah on the free kick. It's quite a fair distance out, but if he gets the whip in it right, he could get a really decent assist here. Are you and Henderson getting spoken to? Are you keeps like swatting Jordan Henderson's hand away. Henderson's going like, what? And he's like, if that was me, I'd be like, high five then. Gakpo gets it out, but straight down the pitch to another Palace player. Um, Matter clears it. Just seems like as soon as they clear it, it's going straight out to a Palace player. Why is there suddenly United fans in here? Is it 'cause I said Newcastle are gonna win tomorrow? Jesus, you mentioned the Carabao Cup final and they're like, "Ah, let's all run to the stream." Oh, Bobby. I don't know how you can say Liverpool are gonna lose it. One, when it's currently 0-0, but also I don't know why you're going about Nunes should have signed for Man United when Nunes has already won a trophy with Liverpool with the Community Shield against Man City. His first game. Stefan coming on, yes. And Gakpo's coming off for him. Could we see Stefan in a different role here, or is Harvey moving up into the front three? Come on, Hendo. Hendo getting his shirt pulled, but that was a wise choice by Fabs. Fabs switching sides by crossing it over to Robbo, but it's back in the middle now, so it didn't work very well. Go on, Bobby. Hendo doing a little bit of a Trent move there, trying to get the ball in for the cross, but it didn't work. It wasn't fast enough. It just makes me laugh, Ali's little hand signals whenever the ball's coming back to him, or it's just, I don't know why, it just makes me laugh. Liverpool might have won today if Nunes was playing, yeah. Nunes' creativity would just be perfect. His speed as well. Yeah, Klopp waited until now to bring Stefan on. It makes no sense. Come on, Milner. Decore gone down for Palace now. Well, Liverpool were in possession. Getting cramp stretched out of him. And he gets up perfectly fine. Poppy's just looked at him like, really, mate? Really? You gotta stop play for that. Ooh, Tottenham Chelsea tomorrow should be a really good game. Very interesting as well. But I cannot wait for the Carabao Cup final. Cannot wait for it. Literally, we'll be going full on Newcastle. I am, like I've said, if anyone knows anywhere to go and watch the final tomorrow with some Newcastle fans in Liverpool, let me know. I want to go and watch it with you. I am thinking there's a few places in town. I think there might be students that are from Newcastle watching it, but come on. I'm amazed so many people have stayed with me watching this because we've stayed at around the 20 mark all the way through this. And I didn't think there'd be that many people watching, in all honesty. So thank you for sticking with me through this. It's just unfortunate it's been a really boring game. Again, Palace now with the ball. I was about to say that on the attack, then chose to pass it right back into the other half. So Fab's managed to clear it, but it was a bit of a risky one. The guy's gone down claiming it's a foul. I don't think it was a foul, but we all know it could go either way. Again, this is why Hendo's just gone down a bit like, oh, and I'm like, why haven't we took him off already? I think a lot of us know now he can't really play 90 minutes. We could be down by 2, we could be up by 2. This game's been so all over the place. I'll be partying with the Geordies tomorrow after the game in Trafalgar Square. That's where everyone's been. So when I FaceTime my brother before, that's where he was. It looked amazing. Like I said to him, "Are you watching the Liverpool game?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm gonna go and watch it." Because I went, I was like, "Are you not watching the Liverpool game?" Like he was like, "No, we are." And I told him United City were winning 1-0, and he was like, "Oh no." And he was telling everyone around him, he was going, "City are winning." And everyone's like, "Who are they playing?" I was just laughing. What makes you think Newcastle are gonna win tomorrow? Because I think they're a better side than United. Got like 20 seconds left of the full 90 minutes, but I'm not sure how much injury time there's gonna be. Very boring, man. Enjoying my beer more than this game. I don't blame you. No, I do think I want Newcastle to win, but I also think they will win. I just think I don't think people understand what the Newcastle fans are gonna be like in Wembley tomorrow. Also, what they're gonna be like around Wembley and what they're gonna be like all around London. It is gonna be such a special atmosphere that genuinely I think it's gonna give. I think in current form, Newcastle and United are very close this season with how they've been playing. Um, but personally, I think at Wembley with that support, Newcastle are gonna have the edge over United. Genuinely think they will. We've got 3 minutes added on the end. We've just got a free kick with Milner whipping it in from quite far out. Headed to Fidge. Stefan heading it down. It's back to Palace now. Palace running up on the counter. But to be fair, we are running back with them quite fast. Stefan keeping them right on the line there. Stefan getting it out for a throw in. Love him. I hate 0-0 draws more than anything. I hate watching them. I don't feel as bad after than I did against the 5-2 with Real Madrid. I didn't know Palace were allowed to bring the megaphones into the stadium because there's 2 of them. And then they've got flags, and it's like, have, have Crystal Palace got ultras? Can anyone answer that for me? Because genuinely, that looked like a bunch of ultras. If that was shown during a European game, I'd be like, ultras? Why are they celebrating when they ain't winning? It's I understand Palace this draw like is a good draw for them because it's against Liverpool, but I think people also forgetting it's Liverpool of a certain form. Oh, Robbo, why are you fouling like that? Very close to the corner flag. Palace are being given a free kick because of a Robbo foul, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a yellow card for it. To be honest, watching it back now, he does get the ball, I think, but it's a bit. He does get yellow cards for it. It's a bit of an awkward one. Getting ready for this free kick. The free kick is I can see it being took just like a corner because that's basically in the position it's in. Milner, remember to mark the man behind you. It managed to just go through and not hit anyone. Palace have still got the ball around the box, it's whipped in and it goes out for another corner. I don't think you can really talk about United beating Barcelona, but also I don't think that game's helped them because it's come so close to the final. Newcastle have had more time to rest. Final whistle, boring 0-0 draw. I wish I put a bet on that now. Put a bet on it and then Palace are insisting they should have there was enough time for a corner. And the ref showing them the watch going, look, no, it was full time. It was full time. And Anderson has then been like abusing the ref and he's got yellow carded after the whistle for it. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. Yeah, me, I cannot wait for it. I genuinely think I might try and find somewhere to watch it. Might see if my cousins want to come and watch it with me, maybe. But yeah, please do more live streams, Courtney. I will try to. It's just a bit difficult too, but I will definitely try and sort something out in the future. But yeah, that my TV's about to turn off. Hang on. But yeah, that was such like a frustrating game to watch. It's like I said at the beginning, I wouldn't mind watching a boring game, but I'd want to get the 3 points. We have come away with a point, but it's still difficult to watch. I don't know. It's just frustrating being a Liverpool fan lately, and I think everyone can agree with us because it's just poor to watch it constantly. You can see the players now going over and giving the shirts to fans, which I like to see. Carvalho was finally on the pitch after coming out of the dungeon. I don't even know what like to talk about after that game. It's just it's a frustrating time to be a Liverpool fan. A difficult watch to see that TV at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, everyone go and check out Dave's LFC chat channel because I will be over there tomorrow at 1 o'clock for a live chat with him. So come and join that. Come join the chat. That means Dave will be having about Liverpool. I wish there was something more exciting to talk about other than a 0-0 draw against Palace away because it's not the most exciting things. Thanks for the watch along. Let's hope for a Newcastle win tomorrow. A lot to talk about, yeah. Yeah, I hope Newcastle do win tomorrow. I cannot wait for if they do to see all the footage. To be honest, I can't wait to see all the footage to the build up of it because I just feel like tomorrow's going to be something special. Love the way you say Firmino and Carvalho without the E-O in it. But yeah, but with that being said, I'm gonna go because there's not much to talk about after that game, is there? And I think I don't want to depress anyone more with Liverpool's current performance. So with that being said, see you all next time, which will actually be Wednesday. I will be doing a match day vlog for Liverpool Wolves, and I'll be in the upper main stand, so you get to see what the view's like there. Obviously, soaking up the pre-match atmosphere. So yeah, that being said, I'll see you then. Bye.